I have realized that people always want to be free, but then they also ask things like, how do I overcome my aloneness, or how do I get rid of aloneness, which is like asking, how can I bind myself to the issues that I'm trying to free myself from? We worry so much. We think about everything, and we feel like we can't see the path ahead of us. There is nothing but just mist in our mind, and we don't know what step to take next, and we have no idea about what we are doing and what path we are on, or we can't see the path ahead of us, and we feel all those things, and then there is mist in our mind. But it is bound to happen. You're bound to see the mist, you're bound to be restless because you're searching for the answer everywhere except for where it is supposed to be. You're searching for the answer in the outer world, in other people, whereas the answer is supposed to be within you. The answer is supposed to be here. All the issues, all the problems, and all the assumptions, scenarios, and everything are created here, but so are the solutions to them. But you are looking for the answers outside. So no matter with how much devotion you look for the answer with, you will never find it, because you are looking for it in somewhere where it is never meant to be. All the answers are meant to be here. All the answers are meant to be within you. But you are searching for the answer everywhere except for where it is supposed to be. We are always thinking that the world around us is changing, that things are getting too complicated, and the world is getting too dull and everything. But no, nothing is changing. If you really look into it, you will realize that from the day you were born till the day you will die, the world is exactly the same. Nothing changes. The only thing that changes is this. Only your perception, your thinking towards everything, and your mind, everything changes in here, and then you view your life, or you view the world in the way that you are viewing yourself within. Nothing is changing. The only thing that is changing is this. Your perspective, your assumption, your question, your problems, only everything is changing but in here. Because outside the world, it's always unchanged. Nothing happens in there. These issues, these problems of life, there are no issues in the world. There are no problems in the world. Everything is in here, but so are the solutions. We know the fact that the answers and solutions to everything is here. We know that the answers and solutions are within us, but we search for it everywhere outside, knowing that it is inside, and still we don't sit with ourselves because we are too scared of what comes up when we sit with ourselves. We are too scared of what comes up in our minds when we are alone. You are scared because before you find the solutions, okay, it's a very normal thing. You sit alone with yourself, and now you will notice you sit without any distractions, alone in your room, and the moment you sit with yourself, you will realize that all kind of thoughts are coming up. Your past emotions, past fears, past guilts, past thoughts, and everything is coming up in your mind, and you very often tend to get up whenever they come into your mind. But only if you sit through them, only then will you feel the fog of chaos slowly and gradually fading away, and clarity coming into your mind. Only if you sit alone with yourself, only then will you find the answers to everything, and you will never ever even have to depend on anyone else outside to help you find the solution. You will never have to depend on anyone else. In fact, you will never even have to consider depending on someone else to help you find the solution. You will never have to, because whenever issue comes, you are glad, you are happy, because you know that you will just have to sit with yourself and the answer will come up. That is all you have to do. But for that, first you need to sit alone with yourself. So to understand it, there are four main things that you need to understand. And the first one is, what is being alone? Being alone means spending time with yourself. And when I say spending time with yourself, I don't mean going to the movies or taking yourself out on a dinner. No, that is rubbish. What I mean when I say that being alone doesn't mean that. Being alone means sitting with your true self. Your true self is not this body. Your true self is the highest form of shapeless consciousness, which we also call Shiva. So your true self is Shiva. You are Shiva. You are the ultimate. You are that. So you need to sit with that. You need to sit with yourself. You need to face your unprocessed fears and everything. It's not facing actually, you are right now, you're not doing it, so you're thinking it's very difficult, very pathetic, very painful. But when you actually sit with it, you'll realize that I was just overthinking about it, because they are not as much painful as you think they are. You just have to sit with them. Most people think that being alone is probably not having friends or being single, but that is not at all what truly being alone means. True aloneness is being unbothered and undisturbed by the world around you. No need to be replied to, approved of, or said that you're enough. And only in solitude it is that you can find consciousness, you can sharpen your awareness and consciousness. It is solitude which shows you who you are. But most people don't even try to sit with themselves, because they fear what's inside. What lies inside is the only reality. But people are so scared of reality that they find more comfort in lies, not knowing that these are the lies that has been making them face so much of pain, hurtfulness, and so much of hatred towards others and hatred towards themselves. But I understand that sometimes it's difficult to have the courage to sit alone, because you have never done that before. Since the moment you are born, you were told that being alone means being lonely, or being alone means being pitied upon. So you have never done that. So I understand that it feels discomforting at first, and it feels a lot at first. So I understand that. And this is where the second point comes in, which is, why do we think it's difficult to be alone? Because we were told, since our childhood, we were told that it is not okay to be with just ourselves. From our childhood, we were taught to share, please, and be with others. If someone is sitting alone, people would often ask, is something wrong with you? Or are you feeling lonely? Are you feeling down? Whenever someone sat alone, these are the questions that would have been asked. And eventually it trains you to run away from your mind, avoid stillness, and also teaches you to attach your values to other people's presence, which is one of the worst things you can ever do. When you attach your values to other people's presence, then you're giving them the authority to govern you. And nothing can be worse than that. Then they can make you feel inferior, then they can make you feel bad about yourself. So that is when you face pain, fear, trauma. So you were taught that, and thus you are doing it. It is not your fault, but coming out of that is what's in your hand. And for that you really need to sit alone with yourself to find the solution. You need to sit alone with yourself to realize who you are, to realize your worth, and most importantly, to be you. And you know what? People are not afraid of being alone. You are not afraid of being alone. You are afraid of what comes up when you are alone. When you sit alone, you'll notice that you are facing all your thoughts, unprocessed fears, traumas, memories, and everything. And thus, people always try to pull noise into their life to avoid their own voices. They pull noise into their life so that they don't have to listen to themselves. You can't expect things to happen that will help you grow when you are denying your own voice. But if you never sit alone, with yourself, you will always depend on someone else to escape those emotions. You will always depend on someone else to escape those feelings, those thoughts, those traumas. And that is when you will feel very hurt, very painful. You only feel hurt and painful when you depend on someone else to make you feel some way, or when you give someone else the authority to govern you, or when you give someone else the authority to affect you. Only then do you feel that way. Buddha once said that no one can save you but yourself. Others can only point the way. So if others are not even pointing the way, because it's not their job to point the way, it's your life, it's your job to point your own way. And now you're searching outside, you're searching the answers in others, you're searching the way in others, while every answer and the way, the path that you have to go to, the path that you have to follow, everything is being told to you by yourself. You just have to sit quietly with yourself to listen to yourself. You just have to be quiet. You just have to sit with yourself to listen to your voice. A voice that is always telling you the answers, always telling you what you should do next. So first you will face chaos, but the chaos will slowly fade away. The mist of chaos will slowly fade away and the answer will come up to yourself. The answer will be very clear, but that will only happen when you sit alone with yourself. And now point number 3, and a very important one, is why is being alone better than being with fools or being with many? Many people are afraid of being alone because they think that being surrounded by many is a sign of happiness, it's a sign of success. When you think that you can be happy only when there are a lot of people around, or you can be successful only when you are surrounded by a lot of people, can you really be happy or can you really be successful? And just because you are surrounded by many people doesn't mean that you're always in the right company. Instead, being surrounded by many people often pulls you away from yourself. Often it takes you away from yourself. Because you start changing your opinions based on what they think. You stop expressing your emotions because you think they will never get it. And eventually you become a version of yourself that isn't real, just acceptable. Can you live with that version of yourself? Because if you can, then I don't mind. But if you cannot be just acceptable, then you need to stop it. You need to stop pitying yourself for getting the blessing of being alone. You need to be grateful that you were one of those very people who were chosen to be given the blessing of being alone. You were chosen to be one of those people who get the chance to be themselves or meet themselves, which is nothing but the highest form of consciousness, which means the divine, the ultimate, which we also call Shiva. So now imagine you are getting the chance to be with Shiva, which is yourself. So you're getting the blessing to be with Shiva, to get the answers from Shiva directly, which is you. But you are crying because you can't be with them, or you are crying because they are ignoring you. Who are they? You think they are more important in your life than Shiva yourself? Or you think they are more important than the highest form of consciousness, the divine? Well then, if you think that, then you cannot be saved, because that is one of the lowest thoughts a person can have. When a person is crying because they are getting a chance to be with Shiva, but they are crying because they can't be with those normal people, the people who insulted them, the people who made them feel like that, and they are crying because they can't be with them, then that is one of the worst things you can ever do. And when you are trying to be in touch with a lot of people or surrounded by a lot of people, you very, very often end up with the wrong people. You end up with fools. And those are the people who don't understand your depth, they don't understand you, they only care about surface level things. And when you end up with fools, you very often tend to become one. When you end up with fools, you tend to become a fool. You have become a fool staying with them. Now you're walking your way and you're thinking they are walking with you, but not realizing that they are actually pulling you their way. And then it becomes very late by the time that you realize that they were actually pretending to be fools to use you. The Chanakya Niti says, a fool, even if close, brings loss. And a wise person, even if far away, brings peace. A wise person, even if far away, brings gain. So when you're alone, yes, at first there is a lot of chaos, but there is also a lot of clarity. And yes, at first there is a lot of discomfort, but then there is also a lot of peace. Now the fourth point is, I have heard about a saying which is, an idle mind is a devil's workshop. So I had heard the saying, an idle mind is a devil's workshop, and I was very confused and in fact frustrated that they are saying an idle mind is a devil's workshop, but on the other hand they are also saying sit alone with yourself to get the answers to everything. Sit alone with yourself, because only then can you find the solution and answers to every problem that you're having or you're facing. And that is when I actually followed the second one, which is sitting alone. I sat alone with myself and I kept on thinking about it. I had to sit alone with myself for a week to actually reduce the amount of those chaos, because you can't just reduce it instantly. You have to sit with it. At first there will be a lot of chaos and very little clarity. Then there will be medium chaos and medium clarity. Then there will be less chaos and more clarity, and then there will be only clarity. Then there will be only clarity, and only then it is that you will feel very peaceful. Only then it is that you will feel the highest form of peacefulness, blissfulness and consciousness. That amount of peacefulness, blissfulness, and consciousness is just undescribable in words. It feels otherworldly. That amount of happiness, that amount of enjoyment feels otherworldly, but you can only get that when you sit alone with yourself. When you go through those emotions, only then do you feel it. So I sat with it for a few days, and then I realized that whoever made this statement that an idle mind is a devil's workshop never went to the depth. That person just sat, and just as I told you, if you sit randomly, you will first at the beginning, you will obviously have negative thoughts. So that person sat, and negative thoughts, unprocessed emotions, fears, and everything came into his mind, and without even bothering to stay through that, it came into his mind, and he immediately got up and declared that an idle mind is a devil's workshop. He immediately declared that an idle mind is a devil's workshop. He didn't even bother trying to sit through it, because only if he would have sit through it, he would have understood only if you sit through that, you attain the highest amount, highest form of peacefulness, blissfulness, and consciousness, and that level of happiness is undescribable in words. He would have understood that, but only if he would have sat through it. He didn't bother sitting through it. He just sat down, and those thoughts came into his mind, immediately got up and declared that if you sit idly, or idle mind is a devil's workshop. But of course it will be like that. It's like a storm at the beginning, but as soon as the storm fades away, just like I have noticed that whenever there is a storm in the sky, after the storm, beautiful rainbows appear, I have noticed. So similarly, you will face those things at first, but then eventually you will find every single answer with clarity in your mind. You will see the mist fade away in your mind, and you will see the answers clearly in your mind, and you will feel it. So yes, an idle mind is a devil's workshop. Yes, it is. But a mind with stillness and enough courage to face those emotions at the beginning, to sit alone with yourself, is definitely not. It's definitely not an devil's workshop. It can never be. So yes, it's not only okay to be alone, but in fact it's one of the most intelligent and one of the best things you can do for yourself. Being alone is one of the best and most intelligent things you can do for yourself. You need to understand that being alone is a blessing that a very few receive. I mean, imagine you are getting the chance to meet yourself. You are getting a chance to meet Shiva. You are getting a chance to realize the fact that you are Shiva. You are getting a chance to feel that level of happiness. But yet you are crying for something so minor. You are bothered about something so minor. Why? You are given the chance to realize the fact that you are Shiva. You are given a chance to realize that you are the ultimate divine consciousness. You are that. But still you are scared for being alone. So being alone is a great blessing that only a very few receive, and be grateful to be blessed by the blessing of aloneness. So being alone is one of the most beautiful things. And you can't suffer something so sacred and so beautiful. So be grateful that you got the gift of aloneness. You be grateful that you were one of the very few chosen to realize who you are, chosen to realize that you are Shiva. Be grateful that you were one of them. So sit alone with yourself, think about things, or think about issues, or don't think at all. The thoughts and everything will randomly come up into your mind. Let it be. Let it come up. One who can only sit through those thoughts, sit through those emotions, knowing that none of it is them, is the only one who can attain that level of peacefulness, blissfulness, and consciousness. So bye bye, all the best. Hope to meet you very soon, and do share your opinions, your thoughts upon this, or your thoughts upon everything, your stories in the comments, so that it helps me a lot more to make my videos more helpful for you. So bye bye, all the best. Hope to meet you very soon.